connecting you to people, knowledge, and business development in the line striping industry. This is Stripe It Like It's Hot. Brought to you by Blacktop Banter with your host, Cam Roberts.
What's happening, Pod Squad? Welcome into another episode of Stripe It Like It's Hot, the second edition of this recording with Chris, the striping guy, Welch. Chris, how are you today?
What's going on, Cam?
It depends if this recording saves. That will dictate how I'm doing.
Right. Well, this one is probably going to be better than the last one, and that's why it happened that way.
Last one was fire. This will be double fire. Yeah, it's always funny. I'm always amused when you listen to podcasts and you're like, they start the episode with, "Oh, this is the second time we're doing this." And I've always thought, well, that's kind of stupid. How did you screw that up? Well, I figured it out. Now everything's like double recorded and we can't possibly mess this up, Chris. But to me, it's a treat because I love chatting with you, so I don't care. We'll lay it down twice. First one was good. This one will be electric. So
I like it too, and I appreciate you for letting me come on. I am definitely a fan of the podcast. I was actually driving to Louisiana to go do some work with a friend of mine, and I was actually listening to the podcast on the way there. Just reruns of those episodes. I still like listening to them.
Oh, that's awesome. I appreciate you, man. So what's happening? I'm going to ask you the same thing that I asked you the first time, which is like, who's Chris Welch and why is he so cool?
He's just a regular guy.
No, there's more to it than that. So if somebody's listening to this and hasn't seen the striping guy, Chris the striping guy on YouTube, where are you at now? You're at 4,000 subscribers, right?
Yeah, 4,000. Yes, sir.
Which is ridiculously fast. How did you do that so fast?
By putting out very controversial videos. In all reality, there definitely is a strategy behind it. Every piece of content that I put out is directed towards a specific goal. It's very calculated. It's not random. And so those videos that are put out are very calculated. That's really it.
Yeah, but it's not really it though, because like, I don't know. On one hand, 4,000, to some channels that might not seem like a lot, but in the industry we're in, dude, you're in the top of the top, and you did it in under a year.
I think so. I think hang on.
You're posting a new video right now, aren't you? You jerk.
I was just looking at how long it's been. 10 months since
10 months.
First video that I have here. So, but yeah, I've had my channel for over a year, but as far as uploading, so yeah, it's growing pretty quick. I like it.
Yeah, that's amazing. So I want to get into that right away. So obviously, like, Chris, you have a business. You're in, oh my goodness, again, Oklahoma, right?
Yeah, yes, sir.
I don't know why that melts my brain. Oklahoma, I knew that. So you're in Oklahoma, you got the business. The business is fairly new. It's not like this has been a 10-year endeavor. So, but, and obviously the business does really well. This is your full-time thing now, the striping, Welch Striping Co. But what I really want to focus in on, I think the value you bring and what can help so many other people is like this content thing. Like, why? Why did you start doing it?
I'll be honest with you. I don't know. It was one of those things. Originally, how it started, I knew that I wanted to start a business, but I didn't know what business it was that I wanted to start. But I knew that once I started, I also wanted to document it. Just from the beginning stages to where it is now. So I knew that I wanted to document it and kind of show the journey, but I didn't know that it would be parking lot services, if that makes sense.
So why did you pick that one then? So it must have been something that drew you to it.
Yeah, because I had seen several ways to make money, but I had always worked a lot. Whenever I started striping, I was working 2 jobs. On the weekend, I'd work another job. I mean, so I was the 3 job guy. I was working all the time. And when I came across striping, I was like, man, I could do that. And you see people doing it all the time, but it never really just clicks in your mind. And then when it clicked in my mind, I was like, oh, I could do that too. And then I started doing it. It was great.
You went like all in on it too. Like was there any what's the right word? Is it like doubt? Was there any like self-doubt when you're just starting, you're new to the industry, you're new to the machine, you're out making money in this business for the first time? Was there any like self-doubt in putting out the content? Because I'll be honest, like what year is this for me now? 5, 6, I don't know, 5, 6, something like that. There's still times where I'm like, should I actually put this out? Like there are people who've done this longer than me. At any given moment, that will be true. Was that doubt in your mind?
Not necessarily, because from a marketing perspective, I just got done reading All Marketers Tell Stories by Seth Godin. And he essentially frames marketing in the aspect of we tell the story and the consumer tells the lie. Well, the wonderful thing about it is with storytelling and brand building is that you don't have to tell everything. You don't have to say I'm on year 2, month 6, I'm on year 8, month 9. Uh because when you put out content and there's so few people that are doing it, naturally people are going to gravitate towards you, especially if it can help somebody stop working 3 jobs.
As fun as that was, I'm sure. Yeah, I get you. So tell me and the people a little bit more about the Discord. It's funny. I don't think I even had Discord before, you had your channel. I think I'd used it once or twice before. I knew a little bit about what it was. I was familiar with the idea of the software. A lot of people that I talk to don't know much about it at all. So explain what this Discord thing is, your Discord channel, why you started it, how it all works.
Sure. Yeah. What happened was when I actually first started the channel, since there were so few people actually in the industry that are doing this, because when you look on Instagram, there's parking lot striping Instagrams everywhere. When you look at Facebook, they're everywhere on Facebook, they're everywhere on Instagram. There's even a lot of people on LinkedIn, but for just some strange reason, there are not a lot of them on YouTube. There just isn't. When I started making videos, I started having a lot of people reaching out to me. And at that time, I was working a full-time job. I was still working my day job. I had quit my second job, but I was still working my day job. And people were reaching out to me from YouTube because I had put my number on YouTube. Then it had got to the point where so many people were reaching out to me that it was impacting my day. I wouldn't be able to work. I'd have to stay on the phone for 6 hours out of the day while I'm driving or working. And it got to the point where so many people were reaching out to me and I was so limited on my time that I wanted to find a way to funnel all of these people into one atmosphere. And as a result of that, essentially what I did was I connected brand new people who weren't even into the industry and even subject matter experts who are 20 years in the industry, sold their company for multi-million dollars, flying back and forth to the Bahamas and Hawaii type stuff. Um, and I brought them into one ecosystem where they wouldn't get ridiculed or made fun of like you see in the other groups that are on Facebook is a good example. You can't ask a question in a Facebook group without 15 people making fun of you. And it's just a real toxic environment. And there are people that are willing to help and give advice and nurture those relationships, but they're very few. As a result of that, I was just like, well, we'll just build a sustainable ecosystem on a platform that promotes a positive environment, and we'll just build something new. And that's what we did.
Hmm. When you started it and these people are reaching out to you because they see your content on YouTube, Did you see it growing the way it has? Because it's got like almost 200 people in this Discord channel now. And it's like, I literally, while we're recording, my phone's on mute. I see a little blurb come up in the top Discord. Everyone, they're chatting in there all the time. Did you see that happening?
I didn't see it happening. I didn't see it happening. That's
what makes it so fun, man. I love
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It still continues to grow. Now the Discord chat for public access has shut. Now, like, it just depends on the certain requirements of really kind of who gets let in, because a lot of people started coming in and like scammers and spammers and stuff like that started coming in and messaging people. And it was just, and I assume all the responsibility in there. So when you got scammers DMing people in there and you don't know who they are, because random people would reach out and say, I want to join. And I would just text them a link. And unfortunately, we don't do it that way anymore.
Yeah, makes sense. So I guess we should just throw it out there. If somebody wants to know more about this Discord thing, want to check it out, how do they get in?
They just reach out, and I vet people more now. I vet people more. We kind of have a phone conversation. And they don't have to be someone that's been in the industry forever. They could just be entertaining the idea of getting into it. There's no like prerequisite or requirements, right? There's no like, you have to be able to check box XYZ, but it's just like, as far as letting people get into the platform without vetting them, now I vet everybody that comes in.
Yeah, make sure they're legit. That's exciting. I don't know how you feel, but so much of what's happened to me in the last 5 years and the stuff that's been built in my company and the podcast, I didn't see any of that coming. Like, it's a lot of work, and I know you know all about that because you work 3 jobs. Like, you're a guy who's willing to put in the work, but I didn't see this happening the way it has, and I kind of like that. As much as I like to plan things, I like to know, I like to forecast. Sometimes you can't, especially when you're just starting something out for the first time. No one else has had a striping Discord before. Like, might not seem like a big deal, but it kind of is. So even though we can't, sometimes keep up and predict how fast things will go, where do you see this? Well, I'll call it your community, because that's really what it is. I mean, Discord is the immediate vehicle that connects people, but the whole community and the people who watch your videos and the 4,000 subscribers and yada, yada, where do you see that going?
I don't know.
I was hoping you weren't going to say, I don't know. Oh, you must have like some sort of idea.
It's the truth. I mean, when I started it, I had a general idea of connecting those two people, and I put some thought in it, but I haven't really like put it down on a piece of paper, right? They've just been random thoughts of meditation, but it's never been like, I'm putting it on a piece of paper, this is the plan of action. I've kind of just thrown out random ideas, but I've never really been determined to say, this is the direction that we're going to take it. But it's been really beneficial. I mean, I've met a lot of great people. I mean, some of the people that I talk with almost every day are in that Discord, and it's really fun and challenging because there's a constant community of people to grow with. Somebody lands a job for 10K, then everybody else starts pushing everybody. Where are you at? How's your marketing? How's your sales going? And so sometimes it picks up like that. Sometimes it dies down. It just depends on where everybody's at. Right now, it's the winter season, so not a lot of people are really, really active.
Yeah, makes sense. Well, when I first saw your YouTube stuff, I was like, oh man, this guy, the consistency is what caught my attention. Just the ruthless consistency of the videos and how, whether it's a short, whether it's a longer video, you're always doing it. Then I saw the Discord. And the thing that impressed me is, like, I don't think, I might be wrong here, and feel free to correct me. I don't think this won't change my opinion of you one bit, but I don't think before like a month or 2 months ago, at the time of this recording, it's like January 2024. I don't think you were offering any like paid services. Like, you were literally just taking phone calls from guys in the field now, right?
Yeah, taking phone calls from guys in the field. Yeah. So
now it's a little bit different though, which is, before I say this, I'm gonna frame it this way: like, the I don't know how you feel about this, but the guru slash coach slash influencer space is very diluted, right? And it's full of people who are like, they start brand new and they're in it to make the quick buck. And they don't have that ruthless consistency like you've done, which is so impressive. On YouTube alone, it's just so impressive. So the last couple of months, though, I want to give this a little plug. You have started to offer something a little bit more premium for these guys who are following what you're doing. Tell us a little bit more about what do you got to offer? What's under the hood?
What's under the hood? I mean, it's like a luxury car. You know, luxury cars and Hondas are both made in the same factory. And a lot of people don't know that, but you take a luxury car that's more than double a Honda Civic, and that luxury car is most likely, depending upon the manufacturer, made in the same factory. It's just a different name. It's all about the way that the perception of the brand, if you could say. But I started, what was happening is that even after Discord, right, people were still reaching out and asking questions, and we developed a training, right? So now we have a training that instead of people calling me multiple times a day and asking how much do I want to charge off of this, or what do I want to do with this, or how can I go about this, and essentially we've developed and compiled a training and allowed them to have access to a training that talks about pricing, marketing, striping, all that stuff, so on and so forth. That's a product that we sell. That is the How to Stripe course. Then we also have a mentorship for guys who really, really are a lot more advanced than like the striping aspect goes. Because in all reality, anybody can learn how to stripe. I mean, striping is not a difficult thing to learn how to do. It's not complex, very simple. After about a good year, you're pretty much everything you need to know. In about that first year learning curve, that's pretty much all you need to know. And the hard part that some guys struggle with is the marketing aspect, the brand building. And that is the reoccurring theme that people are reaching out to me for, guys that are already striping. I mean, I'll have guys who've got the trucks, they've got the best equipment, they've got the branded trucks, the hats, the shirts, the cards, they've got all that stuff. And those same guys are reaching out to me, asking me how I get customers because they're struggling. And so we wanted to really find a way that we could help both beginner and then people who already run existing companies kind of like build, scale, and grow through that mentorship. And the wonderful thing about the Discord is that there's so many people to pull from, right? It's not just like one person. We can connect this guy with this guy, and it's just a platform where if I don't have time and my schedule's blocked, I could just connect this guy with somebody else. So it's really a good thing.
Amazing. Amazing. All right. You said the key word. I want to talk about marketing with you because a lot of what you do, I noticed, and I think we've chatted about this before. A lot of the content you put out it's not directly promoting Welch striping, but yet obviously, even though it might not say Welch striping on that content, it says the striping guy. It's almost like its own different entity, right? But so much of that plays into your ability to market your actual striping company that you run in Oklahoma. So I guess my question is, I don't know, how do you see smaller companies, the kind of companies that are really being drawn to your content? They're in the Discord, they want to grow. I notice that's a huge theme in the Discord is that, man, let's get more jobs, let's get more leads, let's get more work, let's grow. How do you see marketing fitting into that going into 2024?
Sure. That's a very good question. And when guys reach out to me about this very question, because there are guys that we work with, they want to build a brand, they want to build a social following, whatever the case may be. And my first question to them is, you need to determine whether you want to build a personal brand or a business brand. When you look at all of my profiles, my company is separated from my YouTube page, my Instagram page, my GMB. I don't post any of my content on YouTube. My company name, I don't put my company name on YouTube. I don't put, because what happens is if you respond to a mean comment, then people will find out where the business that you run, and then to them it's just a dumb comment, but to you it's your livelihood. You get all your stuff from Google. So if you make somebody mad on the internet, they'll go and just leave you bad Google reviews, and that takes place. And that's why I separated, because I tried it at first, right? Like I tried it. I tried the company branding. I tried the company branding. I tried promoting my services and structuring videos like that, but I didn't get any traction. When I switched from company branding to personal branding, because I'm the company, right? Like when they buy the service, they don't buy Welch, they buy Chris. They buy the confidence that they have in Chris, his ability to perform the service. So it's still the company, the entity, but I knew that if I wanted to have more opportunity, it needed to go through personal branding. And as far as content creation goes.
So you see more growth opportunity for you individually, like with that personal brand, more so than the company at this point.
As far as the growth trajectory goes outside of my state, then yes, most definitely, because I have a geographical area location that I service. Not that I'm not willing to go out of state, but I got church on Wednesdays. I got 2 services on Sundays. We have prayer meeting on Saturdays. 3 days out of the week, I mean, I'm doing church activities. So it's not conducive for me to go out of state and miss church to make a few extra bucks. But as far as the content creation goes, I can work with guys all over the nation from my desk. As far as the mentorship goes, I can work with guys all over the nation from in my office. And that's what I like about it. That's really what I like about it. So it just depends, because they are separate entities. Mm-hmm. The striping guy is a separate entity. I never market myself as the striping guy to my customers, if that makes sense.
That's right. They're going to find it anyways, though, right?
Oh yeah, they'll find it. I had my Facebook reels. I was doing a job, and the GC came up to me, and he was like, "I heard you lost $2,000 on this job," and I was like, "Where'd you hear that from?" He was like, "One of my employees sent it to me from your Facebook reel."
That's the best, man. That is the best.
Yeah, that one hit. But that's actually the reason why I separated myself from my company from any social platform, because I had a perfect rating on Google. I mean, we always take care of our customers. I go above and beyond to take care of my customers. I implement specific strategies that I do that I know for a fact that other people in my area are not doing, because I'm the one that created it. And I go above and beyond to always take care of my customers. And when I was interacting with people on the social platform and they would leave negative comments, I wouldn't use any vulgar language, but I would just be like, "Well, you're stupid. I don't think you know what you're talking about." And as a result of that, these people go to my Google profile and they start leaving bad reviews.
Oh man, alive. Must be nice to have that kind of time.
Because they found out my company name. And as a result of that, that's why I branded myself as the striping guy away from my company, because I can't afford to take those bad reviews, especially if they're fake. So you have to, for anybody that's getting in content, you have to separate yourself from personal branding or company branding. And if you haven't been in business for 20 years and you don't have a massive marketing budget, you're going to struggle. I mean, it's going to be, you'll get a dedicated following, but there's not the same exact kind of content. Here's an example. Solvent paint can cut through water, right? It can cut through water. You shouldn't, but you shouldn't do that. And we know that, but you never want to put that on your, hey, we paint through water on our company site, right? Because your customer looks at that and they go, "What are you painting through water for?" Right. And it just gives a bad brand presentation. Now everybody has striped through a puddle of water with solvent just to see how it works. I mean, everybody's done that. But as an influencer, you can do that and no one's going to come and leave you a bad Google review. Now, you might stripe through the puddle and then dry off the line after that and then restripe it, and they didn't see that on camera. But it's, it's in principle. So brand building and company branding, if you build a personal brand, it just, especially if you're consistent, it'll blow up.
I love it. All right, tell me about the company side then. Park the personal side. You said that there's things that you're doing in your market that is not being done by other companies. You don't have to give the trade secrets away, but like, what are some of those things? Like, maybe even before you say what some of those things are, like, why did you take that approach? And if you want to share what those are, by all means, go for it. But what would be your encouragement to guys who are in any market when they want to grow and they're not implementing those unique strategies? What kind of advice would you give to them?
I mean, I would tell them, like I tell everybody, that if you're just a guy that paints parking lots, you're no different than anybody else. The people want to do business with people that they know, like, and trust. And if I can get you to know me, I can get you to like me. And if you like me, I can convince you to trust me. And all of those things build upon one another. But if they don't know you, that's the first step. They're not going to like you if they don't know you. So the first step is for us to get known in order for them to like us. And when I talk to people, a lot of guys that I'm seeing right now are struggling in their customer acquisition aspect because they're door knocking, they're driving, and they're handing out flyers. They're doing things to generate quick cash, to generate quick money. And whereas I tell every person that I come in contact with, because they asked how we've been able to grow, and I tell them the first thing is brand building. So I do have a personal brand, but I also have a company brand too. And you have to develop a brand, because if you're just a guy that paints parking lots, man, the guy who's ranked number 2 on Google is going to smash you every time, because he's going to get 96% of the business. He doesn't have to go out. You have to go out. So if you go out and you're just door knocking and you're handing out flyers or business cards, but you're not developing your brand so people can know, like, and trust you, then you're essentially just wasting your time.
I couldn't agree more, bro. No, like, trust is my favorite thing in the world. 100%. That's it. Man, well, kind of funny that, we're starting this recording in the new year. Not funny that we, didn't record the first one, but whatever, that's fine. This one's better anyways. You're into it today. I like it. What's happening in 2024 for you? Personal brand side and Welch Stripe & Co side. What's happening?
Well, we're going to hopefully continue to grow as much as the Lord will allow. I know that my ability to grow depends upon how much he's willing to give me. James says, every good gift cometh from above, from the Father of lights. Everything that I'm going to get this year is as a result of the Lord giving it to me. And if he doesn't give it to me, then he doesn't give it to me, and I don't have to worry about not getting what I don't have. And as far as that aspect goes, I mean, we've got like reoccurring work, but it's usually going to keep the people busy. I got 2 people that work for me, and so it'll keep all 3 of us busy as far as reoccurring. Like, I know what we're going to do right now next year that's going to keep all 3 of us busy, not including of like what's going to come in. And so we're just going to keep growing. I plan on adding seal coating in the spring, and then pothole repair, doing all the maintenance stuff. And then I'm hoping about maybe like the 5th year, get into about paving. Paving would be real cool to get into. Mm-hmm. But so we're going to do seal coating and all that stuff in the spring, and then just continue to grow from there as the Lord would allow and lead.
Man, I mean, it's so new. It's so new. I'm thinking of like the Discord and everything, like this community you're building. 4,000 subscribers, bro. It's no joke. 4,000 people on YouTube is no joke. It's grown so fast. there's probably a lot more room to grow. I mean, what you're doing is just incredible. So, um, one other thing I wanted to ask you about, I didn't write it down. What was it? What was the thing I was going to ask you about? Payvex. Almost forgot. Tell me about Payvex. What's happening? You and I, we're gonna do a little something at Payvex, aren't we?
Dude, we're gonna do some collabs, bro. As many videos
Yeah.
as you want to collab. Yeah.
124. Oh no, I'm excited to go there. I got lots of time on my side, so you and I will be doing that. What are you doing exactly? Are you taking somebody from the Discord with you to Payvex, or how does that work?
I'm taking a friend of mine, Mario Lynch, to Payvex. He's gonna fly down here from Florida, and then he's gonna stay with me for a week, and then we're gonna drive from my house and then go to Payvex. We're gonna drive there, and I got invited. I got invited to some event on the 29th.
What, the kickoff party?
I think so. Some guy messaged me, dude, from
You better go to that.
yeah, bro, from Facebook. Some guy messaged me and he was like, Cam was telling me about you, so I wanted to come and add you. And I was like, oh, that's nice. And he invited me.
Are you talking about Marvin?
I don't think so. I know that
Wasn't
guy.
it?
I've
Okay.
never had a conversation with him before, but it was somebody else.
Well, now's a good a time as any, because I'm sure we're talking about the same thing. So, Blacktop Banner second annual conference kickoff party. So the first one was last year at NPE. Marvin's going to throw it down again, and it's got to be I'm sure it's the 29th. That's got to be the day. So if you guys want more info on that, I think it's funny. I presume that's the same event you're talking about.
Yeah, I think so. Somebody, I guess you did a talk or something, and then a talk that you gave inside of a group or something. Some guy told me that you gave a talk inside of a group, and then he came and followed me or something like that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, this is 100%. Yeah. So I work with Marvin a little bit on his group, the Black Dog Banner Success Group. I take one of his calls once a month. And yeah, I was as one of the recent calls, I was like, if you guys aren't following this guy, get your act together. Go follow a striping guy. Like, at that point, I think you only had 3,000 people following you. And
last month was a good month.
Yes, sir. It's the off season. People are binging. Now's the time. Well, make sure you chop up some of this beautiful content into some stuff too. So I look forward to seeing you at Payvex. That's going to be great.
Obviously, dude, I'm excited too. I'm excited too. I'm excited to meet and shake hands. I'm gonna give you a big old hug whenever I see you and just hold you.
That sounds terrifying. You are not a small dude.
I'm like 5'9". That's pretty small.
Oh, okay. But you look like you could do some squeezing. Well, whatever. I'll take it. Payvex, that's coming up really fast. I look forward to seeing you there. And what did I miss? Like, time just flies by with you, man. But like, is there anything else you want like the open floor for a few minutes? You want to jam on something?
It's up to you, man. I'm a guest, man. I take orders real well. I do whatever you say.
Tell me what the biggest surprise was in 2023. Biggest, besides, starting a community with 4,000 people. What's the biggest surprise?
The biggest surprise in 2023, I got a mentor, bro. That's probably like the biggest. The guy that I actually started before I got into striping, I came across. He's a friend now, but I came across his YouTube channel, and he's the one that does the pressure washing. And I came across his YouTube channel, and that's how I initially got into striping, because he was doing it, and I had always watched his YouTube channel, and I was like, man, I'm gonna do that too. And Justin on Forever Self-Employed, his YouTube channel, and that's how I got started, because I was watching his videos, and we actually connected, and we've kind of developed a really good friendship, and he's my mentor too. So I mean, that's probably like the biggest impact as far as personal development and growth. That's probably the surprise, because that's how I got started. So as a result of watching his stuff. So it was kind of interesting that the person that I got started from kind of reached out and wanted to like connect with me. And that's made all the difference.
Cool. One more time. His name is what? Sorry.
Forever Self-Employed.
Man, that name's familiar. I think I've seen some of that content before, but
that's cool.
He does parking lot striping, bro. And he reached out, dude. We just connected, and then ever since then, it's been, I mean, he just, yeah.
Amazing. All right, man. Well, so if you've never seen Chris's stuff before, just go onto the YouTube machine, man. Just go on there. Chris the Striping Guy. You're at the point now, interestingly enough, where when you search anything in YouTube pertaining to striping, like you're basically at the top already. Like that's how fast.
Really?
Oh, dude, you're right up there. I mean, Asphalt Kingdom's definitely up there. They put out a ton of content, but Striping Guy, man, you're there.
So
Is
it's
it-
not hard
just type in-
to. Oh yeah, go do
Oh
it.
yeah. I
Might
just
be a
typed
little.
in striping.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay.
There you go. The YouTube likes the consistency, man. There you go. Yeah, make sure you type it in line striping. There he is. So yeah, if you guys want access or more info about Chris, about the YouTube channel, about the Discord, just go find him, man. He's all over the YouTube machine, Chris the Striping Guy. And yeah, it'd be cool, man. I enjoy being in that Discord. I'm not super active in it, but I see it. The alerts go off a lot, and I try and pop in there every now and then. I think it's great. I think it'd be awesome to have more and more people get in on that. So, brother, keep up the good work. Thanks for everything you do.
I appreciate it.
And I'll
Thanks for having me on.
I'll see you in Texas, bro.
2 weeks.
Peace.